I lived the scientifically perfect life for 50 hours by Will Tennyson. Lock in. Okay, lock in. This guy always makes bangers.
Thousands of scientific studies, combined them all together, and created the ultimate routine that some would consider the scientifically perfect life. And for the next 50 hours, I'm going to be following it. Why? Because my life is far from perfect, and maybe there's something in here that I could bring back to my regular life to make it just a little bit better. Let's let the science class begin, starting with a morning routine. Now, for a morning routine,
I feel like trying to combine everything into like 2 days is miserable. I feel like when you try to do everything, you turn into Brian Johnson, where your whole life is just science. You know what I mean?
I'm not interested in doing some sort of like a Navy SEAL Hell Week type thing. I'm not hopping in a cold shower. I'm not getting in a cold plunge. I'm pro warmth. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to show you a very simple routine that everyone can do. There's really no excuses. And it all starts with going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time every day.
Bro, I'm so bad about that. Like, I care a lot about my health. I am terrible at having a consistent sleep schedule. It's really bad. I'll wake up at 6 a.m. one day, then go to bed at midnight, then wake up at 6 a.m. the next day, then go to bed at 10 p.m., wake up at 9 a.m. It's rough, man. It's rough. I think that is one of the hardest things to do as a younger guy. Like, or it's just as a younger person in general. As anyone under like 50 years old, I feel like it's hard to have a consistent sleep schedule because there's always just so much going on. You know? Exactly. Asleep what?
Don't stay up late playing with your joystick.
See? Biggest problem right there. No, I'm playing. But it's like the only reason I wake up early nowadays is like go run with my dad. But if I'm not going and doing that, then I'm up late, man. Then I'm up late and I'm waking up late.
Get to bed. Sleep is literally the most important thing, which is why tonight I have the most insane plans for sleep tonight. The next thing we want to do is immediately brush our teeth.
Question for you guys. Are you brush your teeth after breakfast kind of guy or right when you wake up kind of person? Me personally, I grew up, I always brushed my teeth after I ate breakfast when I was about to leave for school. So I didn't like the smell on my breath when I went to school. I'm an after breakfast kind of person, right? Right? After. I thought I was the only one. I thought it was crazy. Everyone else would just like wake up, brush their teeth. I was always after I ate breakfast. After coffee, that's valido. I need to do that low key because I probably have the teacher breath. You know what I'm talking about? When you're doing work and you're like, I don't really understand this, teach. Can you come over here? And they're sitting here like this over you. Just coffee breath in your face in the morning. Oh man. Maybe that's what I have, bro.
Yeah. That's a biological weapon. No wonder why my nickname in high school was Nut Breath. But basically, when you go to bed, your mouth dries out and bad bacteria builds up. And when you wake up the next morning, consume a sugary drink or sugary food before brushing, you're feeding that bad bacteria. I never brush my teeth first thing in the morning. I always have a coffee. I always have my breakfast, then I brush. Is that gross? I'm not sure.
That's what I'm saying!
I guess it is. Yeah. From there, I went outside to wake my body up by boosting energy, mood, and sleep quality, while also giving me vitamin D and keeping my hormones and body clock.
Dude, morning sun is so goated. Trying to escape the morning scroll is actually insane. Actually getting, like, your eyes in sunlight in the morning is so peak. It's so peak, bro.
In balance. Next up on the routine, we are making a special cocktail called the High Fiber Hydration Bomb, which is for hydration, bet you didn't see that one coming, energy, gut health, and it's an anti-inflammatory. You're gonna need some water, lemon juice, salt, chia seeds, and a greens powder. Well, hopefully bomb isn't code for what I think it might be, and if it is, hopefully I get to choose when that bomb detonates. Here we go.
Dude, he's gonna be absolutely shitting his brains out.
That's gonna leave zebra stripes. Black undies kind of day. It tastes like a handful of Amazon ED pills blended up with lemon juice. Next, we're just out here grounding. It promotes calmness.
Dude, grounding, I don't do it a ton, but bro, going to a field and just running around barefoot, peak. Chef's kiss. If you have not ran around on a field of grass and with your bare dogs gripping the soil, you need to do it just once. It feels so good.
Reduces stress, enhances mood, improves sleep. You see all these photos of the data I'm showing?
What was that? Did that say left breast, right breast?
You see all these photos of the data I'm showing?
Lock in. Baseline, bed pad, left breast, abdomen, left thigh. Effective bed pad grounding on 60 hertz mode. What does that mean?
I actually don't understand any of it. Like, none of it. Might as well just be cave paintings. I've either peaked in grade 5 science, or I'm just straight up illiterate. I must say, walking barefoot in the grass makes you instantly feel amazing. And fortunately, I'm in a part of town where the only thing I have to worry about not stepping on are anthills and not needles. And if there's anything wet, I'm just telling myself it's a sprinkler. I will also add, this entire time of the morning routine so far, I've not had my phone with me. Social media detox. You don't need to be on your phone right away in the morning.
Bro,
And watch,
I can't
this is
lie.
the day.
That's hard.
I have a missed phone call from Arnold Schwarzenegger
That's
or
hard.
something. For breakfast today, we are making something that was popularized by a famous strength coach of the name Charles Poliquin. And that is a meat and nut breakfast. That just sounds like my favorite breakfast in bed. But
Me and Damie Bear. Meat and nut breakfast.
there are a lot of benefits to this kind of breakfast, and that is lower carbs equals fewer crashes. It's better for body composition and insulin sensitivity. It improves dopamine and focus. It stabilizes blood sugar, and it keeps you full. Meat and nut breakfast is consisting of filet
that's
mignon
it?
and some walnuts. Now, the calories of this dish.
Bro, there's like 4 walnuts on that plate. Dude, there is nowhere near enough nut on that plate, like at all. What the heck, bro? You got to have more
I
than
don't
that.
want to know. I looked at the nutrition label of the walnuts, and it was terrifying. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna finish the meat
Oh,
off
shout out Mange. This guy's Canadian.
and then earn the nut. I just call that oral tradition, and I don't need science to tell you that filet mignon is a premium cut, dog. Obviously medium rare. Anything more, give it to the dogs. I didn't know meat could be this submissive. This is grass-fed.
What are we talking about?
I almost just made a noise reserved for hotel rooms. The perfect amount of blood. Gives it a little bit of that sickening edge. Don't get me wrong, this is amazing, but I'm a sweet breakfast man. Why can't
I'm a savory breakfast
what
guy.
I want and what makes me happy just
Steak
be
and eggs
science,
is delicious.
You know? You wanna know what's kind of funny? We have so much data supporting this kind of breakfast and how good it is for you, yet the government just wants us eating cereal. The government wants us eating cereal so we stay fat, weak, broke, bloated. Eat cereal, feel foggy, blame yourself.
Chinny, I lived the scientifically perfect life for 50 hours.
It's all part of the plan. What's the plan? I'm not entirely sure. None of us are sure, but there is a plan. Nothing says population control quite like Tony the Tiger. I'm just putting that out there. There's a plan. Walnuts are the real deal. There are so many health benefits for walnuts specifically. It's the apex nut. So this nut should give me clarity that monks meditate 20 years for. All right, here we go. It's been a while. Kind of reminds me.
I'm a big nut on my salad kind of guy. Like, whenever I have a salad, like pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, almonds, all of that in a salad to give it extra crunch is so good. It is so, so, so good. Mad underrated. Mad underrated.
Old man in a hot tub. A little bit of a tan, wrinkly, surprisingly creamy finish. Very earthy too. I can already tell it's gonna keep me a lot fuller. The other day I DM'd Andrew Huberman and I asked him if humans could only take 4 supplements, what would they be? And he didn't answer me. So there must be a lot more interesting things going on in the DMs, Andrew. Anywho, I did some research on my own, and I found that the 4 supplements you should take are creatine, magnesium, omegas, and vitamin D. So this is what I'm gonna be taking.
Honestly, that's a great stack. That might honestly be the perfect stack of supplements, genuinely. Creatine, you get the brain health. Magnesium, you get the sleep health. Fish oils, just good for you. Just good for you. It's that good cholesterol. And then vitamin D, hey, you might be working in an office, not getting outside enough. especially if it's plus K2, incredible. Incredible.
You are supposed to delay your caffeine 60 to 90 minutes after waking.
This I actually do. I actually do this. I don't know how much it actually helps with my sleep quality and stuff like that, but I do this. I don't wake up and have a coffee right away. Generally, I'll wake up, have my breakfast, do a bit of work, and then I have coffee. Generally about an hour, hour and a half after.
So you can truly feel what rock bottom feels like. Now, I've seen a lot of studies about caffeine and coffee, and the only thing I got from it is nothing bad has ever happened from drinking coffee. If anything, delaying caffeine, it's making you immortal, more or less. So we're getting a...
Why vitamins and not whole foods with those vitamins? Colin, that is a great question. That is a great question. I will say the number one reason is just because a lot of people just aren't eating that many whole foods, or like, let's say you're cutting or something like that and you just don't have a ton of calories to go around. You might not be able to eat things like avocados, which have quite a few calories, but obviously those healthy fats, or some fish, you know what I mean, that have like the omegas, those healthy fats, a lot higher in calorie, things like that. I don't really know what has magnesium in it, to be honest. Vitamin D, obviously that's just going outside. If you work a ton, or if you work in an office, like I said, it can be hard to go outside. And creatine, I mean, to get the amount of creatine that you get from like a supplement, to get that through whole foods, you have to eat so much. It is near impossible to get the amount of creatine you get. Like, I'll look it up real quick. How much creatine is in a pound of beef? A pound of beef has 2 grams of creatine. So most people are having about 5 grams of creatine a day if you're taking a supplement. So that means in order to get like 5 grams, you would have to be eating 2.5 pounds of beef. You know what I mean? So it definitely is possible to get like all of your, you know, I want to say necessary things through Whole Foods, but so it's just ease. You know what I mean? Having to keep track of a lot of different things rather than just like wake up, toss it in your mouth, make it easy. You know what I mean? Rather than trying to track everything individually. You know, you have a really busy life. I do agree though, because it is probably better to just get it from those Whole Foods. But I do get where you're coming from.
A quick little black coffee, because you got to take it black before heading to the gym. I don't know if I can keep this habit up. Waiting 60 to 90 minutes after I wake up. My Keurig is now my dominatrix. Hi, can I get a large black, please? Thanks. Oh, the smell. That's hot. It tastes so much better. You had to wait and beg for it.
I'm sipping on my coffee on the way to the gym for the perfect workout. But we're not just going to any ordinary gym. We're going to the Muscle Lab, where we're actually going to hook our muscles up to these tiny devices to see how hard they're working during the workout.
First ever person to use these in the Jeff Nippard Muscle Lab. And it basically just measures electrical activity in the muscle. It's a good proxy for activation.
Shout out Jeff Nippard, R.I.P. his wonderful wife. It is very sad what happened. Very, very sad. Very, very sad. But Jeff Nippard is an awesome YouTuber, man.
Before we hit the weights, I wanted to mix up the ultimate concoction, something to squeeze out every last drop of this workout.
So I'm going to start with some citrulline malate for endurance, pump, fatigue delay. So I'm going to do a scoop of that. Next, 10 grams of EAAs. Then we got a carb powder for energy endurance.
Cool.
And then last but not least, some electrolytes for hydration, cramp prevention.
See, I will say this I disagree with. Jeff Nippard's wife passed away suddenly a while ago. But this I not heavily, but personally, I disagree with this. If you're not doing an extremely long or extremely, extremely difficult cardio workout, you do not need to be taking electrolytes, and you do not need to be taking a carb powder. Like, if you are not doing an endurance thing that is like 2 hours long, you don't need all this. Most people eat way too much salt already in their diet to be needing like a salt or sodium supplement before a workout. Most of the time. Obviously, there's exceptions. Or had a long night of drinking. That's true. That's a great time for a hydration supplement. But most of the time, you really don't need it. You know, the benefits, like I've read some stuff where, you know, there are benefits even if it is like a shorter training session, but that's when there's extreme intensity compared to like this. If you are going to lift weights, you do not need any supplement, bro. Any supplement. You do not need it. I'm sorry.
So if you had to give me a score from 1 to 10, the scientifically perfect intra-workout shake.
Honestly, I would give you a 9. So the only thing I would say is I prefer to have...
Don't you want to fuel the workout? Generally, if you've eaten a meal beforehand, no. If you've eaten a meal beforehand, that's plenty. I'm saying you don't need a supplement like a shake. Like you don't need a carb shake if you've already had like some food. You know what I mean? And I'm mainly talking about the electrolyte thing. Because I don't know if, I mean, I'm sure you guys know this. Electrolytes have blown up recently, like in the past couple of years. Everyone is talking about electrolytes. Everyone's pushing electrolytes. But dude, most people, you are already having more salt than you need. You know? Like, it is not necessary. But I will say, like carbs, you're probably already having a lot of carbs before a workout. So it really just depends. I can see, you know, needing carbs, but, you know, or it's like the wake up and have electrolytes the moment you wake up. I get it. But if you're already eating, like, let's say you're having some eggs for breakfast and you're putting salt on your eggs, you probably don't need to have an electrolyte supplement when you wake up as well. You get what I'm saying? But I thought he was saying take that shake instead of a meal before. Is that what he was saying? I thought he was saying intra-workout. Like during. Let's hear.
For energy.
Every last drop before we hit
Hold up.
Electrical activity in the muscle.
Maybe
It's a good
I could be
proxy
wrong.
for activation.
Before we hit the weights, I wanted to mix up the ultimate concoction, something to squeeze out every last drop of this workout.
So I'm gonna start with some citrulline malate for endurance, pump, fatigue delay. So I'm gonna do a scoop of that. Next, 10 grams of EAAs. Then we got a carb powder for energy endurance.
Cool.
And then last but not least, some electrolytes for hydration, cramp prevention. So if you had to give me a score from 1 to 10.
Okay, yeah. Intro workout mix. So this is, I mean, ChatGPT just made this. So you see 10 to 30 grams, EAAs. EAAs, complete BS, bro. BCAAs, complete BS. Electrolytes, dude, you are not sweating enough. I don't care who you are. You are not sweating enough during a weightlifting session to need electrolytes. Unless you get lightheaded and things like that, maybe, but generally not. Citrulline malate, that kind of thing, you find that in a lot of pre-workouts and stuff to fuel like pumps and like feel good, you know? Like there's, what is it? Like L-citrulline, yeah, I mean citrulline malate. There's, what's the one that makes your skin crawl? Beta-alanine. You know, that's the one that makes you feel like you have ants in your skin, you get an itchy butthole, that kind of thing. But, you know, that's a lot mental. And I mean, I do agree. There's a lot of mental aspects to training. So it's like, if it makes you feel good and it makes you have a better time and you enjoy it more, go for it, man. Even though, you know, it might be a little bit of placebo. There's a reason placebo effect is a real thing, you know. It does something. I usually have electrolytes after a run, like a Gatorade. Yeah. I mean, if you're super sweaty and you're exhausted after a run, you might actually be a little depleted. I mean, if you eat dinner, then you're probably fine. But, I mean, I do something pretty similar. If I have like a long run, I'll have, you know, something like that after replenish, make you feel good. I think that's a great thing. I just would say, like, you don't need... It's like if you're going for a really short run, you don't need an electrolyte supplement during the exercise. Afterwards, if you want to replenish, then maybe a cup of salt with every meal. All right, we're trolling.
The scientifically perfect intra-workout shake.
Honestly, I would give you I would give you a 9. So the only thing I would say is I prefer to have sit malate pre-workout. It probably will help improve the pump, but I don't know if I would do it intra, I would just do it pre. There's one thing that is completely necessary, and it gets you like all the way to 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
It's water.
Just water?
Yeah, because if you become dehydrated while you train, that can severely impair performance. All of this stuff, I would say, is...
See, but the thing is, okay, I will say Jeff Nippert is far more qualified than I am. But the likelihood that you get dehydrated while training is very low. Very, very low. Not happening, generally speaking. But I do agree. Water, I mean, it's just good, you know, just making the mouth feel better. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion. I completely disagree with like the BCAA BS. That
more like the
completely
cherry on top.
Okay. Today's shoulder day for me.
Okay.
So I'm looking for the perfect, scientific, most effective shoulder workout.
You're in the right spot.
We hooked up the EMG device on each of our front, side, and rear delts in order for us to monitor the activity of each head of the shoulder.
We'll do a problem photo, man. So how
are so
important
cool.
is a slow eccentric and a pause at the bottom of the rep?
That's a good question. I don't think a slow eccentric is important. I think a controlled eccentric is important though. You want your total rep to last at least 2 seconds, but from 2 seconds to 8 seconds doesn't actually make any difference.
It was time to slowly work our way up in weight in order to get to our 2 top sets of maximum weight, where we're going to be pushing to complete failure.
Nah. More. Control these last rep or these last couple. Drive it, drive it, drive it. Finish it.
The shoulder press is usually thought of as mainly a front delt exercise, but interestingly, both Jeff and I felt significant lateral delt activation. In fact, I actually felt it more on the side delts than the front.
So your lateral delt was 132%.
Super high.
Your front delt was 112%, so they're pretty close.
You actually had more lateral than front on the shoulder press.
What?
Yeah.
With the side delt, is that enough of a percentage of activation to be worthwhile doing?
Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna compare it to lateral raises and see. For side delts, we're actually just gonna do a dumbbell lateral raise.
Okay.
So normally I'd go for cables, but I think dumbbells work really well too. There was a recent study that showed no difference in hypertrophy between cables and dumbbells. And so I think the best practice is to use both. When it comes to rep ranges, generally speaking, I think for hypertrophy, you wanna be 6 to 10 reps.
6 to 10?
I call that
Jeff
failure,
is
Will.
jacked, bro.
Every rep the same. One more. Yeah, that's your number. Good job, man. Nice set.
Thanks.
That's good. Let's see.
It feels
The pump you get from lateral raises, I don't care if it's less effective than a shoulder press. I'm doing them anyways. The pump is bar none. It's worth it. It is worth it.
just as much the side as the shoulder press, actually, which is weird.
Look at the lateral activation on Will. 158.
Yeah.
You cooked me on that one.
Oh.
Congratulations. Your rear delt's pretty high too. Yeah, definitely way higher than mine. And you don't have much front. So I guess either the way your anatomy is set up, or maybe it's a technique thing. You're getting way less front than me, and you're getting significantly more rear than me.
It's pretty interesting. Even with the most optimal exercises, everyone experiences them completely different. That's why it's so important to find the movements where you personally feel the most benefit.
So a 6-set shoulder workout doesn't sound like a lot, but that's enough a couple times a week?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you throw more volume at your shoulders than that, you're getting close to what some might call junk volume territory.
Right.
I don't necessarily think it's like junk volume and that it's useless. It's just that you get severely diminishing returns with adding more volume. And at a certain point, you're kind of just wasting your time, to be honest. Like for the vast majority of people, I'd rather see them do 2 sets per exercise that are actually executed well, meaning good technique and high effort, than like 3 or 4 sets where they just kind of come in and heave some weight around and get a pump. Like it's infinitely better to do more quality volume than just more total volume.
So you must be wondering,
I completely agree with that. I feel like a lot of people spend too much time in the gym. And it's like if you do all of that and then just have poor sleep or poor diet, it's just a waste. But if you really enjoy it, then obviously go for it. But I feel like a lot of people put so much value on the workout itself and not enough around the workout. You know, like me personally nowadays, I'm probably in the gym for like an hour when I go. Obviously, I'm not the biggest guy ever, but you know, that's my opinion.
Why I'm at the grocery store and not rushing to get my meal in? That's because the anabolic window doesn't exist.
Contrary to popular opinion, you don't need to get your nutrients in within like 10 to 20 minutes of training. In reality, there's about a 5-hour window that brackets your pre-workout meal and your post-workout meal. So in terms of post-workout nutrition, as long as you're getting your meal in around 5 hours after you ate your pre-workout meal, you're good. So all this idea about like spiking insulin and like all the fast digesting carbs and everything, it's kind of bro science for bodybuilding.
The only study you'll find supporting it is probably on the label of some sketchy mass gainer. So unlike the Easter Bunny, Santa, the Tooth Fairy, my life actually improved once I found out the anabolic window wasn't real. All that time rushing home to choke on some dry meat was for nothing.
I'm not just aimlessly picking up random things. I have exact ingredients and macros I want to hit, because earlier I asked Jeff, what is the perfect post-workout meal?
Well, the most important thing is protein. So I'd like for you to get at least 30 to 40 grams of protein. Then the next priority would be carbohydrate. That's not that important, especially if you had carbs in your pre-workout meal. The thing with glycogen is it will replenish, generally speaking, within 24 hours anyway. So unless you're doing full body training, where you're hitting every muscle on consecutive days, there's really no urgency to that. But as a general rule of thumb, around 0.5 gram of carbohydrate per kilogram of body weight. And then fats, again, since there's no real urgency for absorption, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. So, you know, the traditional wisdom was to keep fats low in the post-workout meal, but that's just to increase carb absorption. If there's really no rush to get the carbs absorbed, then it doesn't really matter if you have a lot of fat. Okay, so that's the theory. So what do you actually eat, okay? What I might do as a post-workout meal would be a chicken wrap. Okay, so you get a nice whole wheat tortilla, you get some chicken, some lettuce, a little bit of cheese. Probably go for the lower fat side just to get, you know, the nutrients absorbed a little bit faster. Some salsa, a little bit of sour cream, or you could go Greek yogurt if you want to get a little extra protein in there.
Here we have the perfect post-workout meal, and to be honest,
great meal.
These macros were really easy to hit.
Great meal.
So I'm gonna have to find something later to really manipulate, because I was expecting to get like half a pie to like spike my insulin or something like that. Something fancy, but no. 80 grams protein, 51 carb, 17 fat, 646 calories.
Great macros.
The heck was with this science, man? The anabolic window might not exist, but we still live in a calorically limited prison that we call Earth. Tastes like the whitest Mexican food ever. Somewhere, a Mexican grandma felt a disturbance in the force. It is also a little after 3 p.m., so the meat and nuts filled me like no other.
Classic.
This is actually pretty filling too. The lettuce is stupid though. I'm stressed, you're stressed. Yes, you are. Don't lie. And that's just part of being human. It's okay. But according to science, there are some very easy, low-hanging fruit things that you can do on a daily basis to greatly reduce your stress levels. And I'm gonna test 4 of them.
Test 1, gargling salt water. This apparently helps activate the vagus nerve, which helps calm your heart rate, lower blood pressure, and reduce the physiological effects of stress.
I don't know about gargling salt water, bruh. The only salt water I'm gargling is coming straight from Damie Bear. I don't know about that. Gargling salt water, I feel like that is not going to help me out. Why bro sound like that?
I feel like my stress would have been more regulated by swallowing. The job kind of feels half done. I swear a bunch of
Job not finished. Job not finished.
these studies have to be more dares than anything. Like, I can imagine a bunch of these people are just sitting in a lab being like, oh my God, I can't believe that guy actually tried that. And I tried it. I'm so focused on the salt water in my throat. It's like I gulped the damn Dead Sea. That I kind of forgot about everything. Test 2, dark chocolate. It boosts feel-good brain chemicals and reduces stress hormones.
Just say you like chocolate. Just say you want to eat chocolate. The scientists just want an excuse to eat chocolate. I love me some dark chocolate, so I'm talking about myself here, but...
Spelled backwards as desserts. Coincidence? Yeah, actually, probably, and that's crazy. You wanna know what else is crazy? No matter what, all roads lead to something dark to loosen me up. Dark chocolate, black coffee, and at least this kind of dark chocolate won't leave any permanent damages. I can't really imagine chocolate is gonna solve my problems, but it'll probably at least pause them. Gotta let them out in your mouth. 70% dark chocolate is like the perfect percentage. Anything more, we're getting into nasty territory. This is like a dark chocolate, milk chocolate hybrid that I'm okay with. It does make your toenails curl a little bit. It shivers up my spine. Honestly, just eating de-stresses me. So I would say this works.
Test 3, random acts of kindness.
I feel like I'm in the same boat there. I can't lie. I just always be eating. I'm always snacking on something, man. The only time I'm like not snacking is probably streaming. And even then I am still snacking.
So random acts of kindness reduce stress, huh? So I'm gonna go hold some doors for some people and see how that feels. I've always seen myself being a bouncer at a coffee shop. So let's see.
When you do something kind, your brain releases oxytocin, dopamine, and endorphins. These not only make you feel good, but they also lower stress hormones like cortisol.
That did feel good. If you didn't say thank you, that would have been Rage City. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. You coming in? Yeah, got you.
I will admit, this worked.
Look at me, I can... It's automatic door.
Bro, stop.
I feel good.
Test 4, VR forest bathing. What? This
The hell did you say? VR forest bathing?
is supposed to mimic nature's stress-reducing effects, but realistically, I think it's because you're escaping reality. The fact that I'm in virtual reality to de-stress is kind of stressing me out a little bit, but I will say it's nice and calm out here. What is this? Horizon Central. Do I just go that way? Like, oh no. How do I get there? How do I? Now I'm getting stressed out. Something about this is getting really creepy. I feel so helpless. Oh, I like that. I like that. VR is like the one place where I could actually grow a full beard. Oh, for the camera. Oh shit. Having a very disturbingly early and light dinner this evening.
good.
It's just after 5:30. I like to be tossed and turned in bed. I don't want to be tossing and turning from being hungry. And so I'm just a little bit nervous that this is my last meal, because to me, carb coma is backed by science. How much I eat directly correlates to how much I'm knocked out later. But the truth is, the lighter your meal is before bed, the lower your heart rate is when you go to sleep. And you want to have a lower heart rate, which helps with a better sleep.
If you guys want to know about the science behind that, this is actually true. You want to have a lower heart rate and be in a cool room when you're sleeping, because your body naturally, the heart rate lowers when you're asleep. But if you have a big meal before you go to sleep, you might feel lethargic and tired, but that's because your body is working to digest that meal. So, you're a bit tired from that. But if you lay down and try to go to sleep whilst you just had a big meal, it's going to be a lot more difficult to get good quality sleep and fall into those deeper stages of sleep where your heart rate really drops, because your heart rate is elevated by the digestion going on in your stomach. Personally, I don't think you need to have it like 5 hours beforehand. Me personally, a couple hours before you go to sleep, I think is good. And do as I say, not as I do, because I be munching before I go to sleep. I'm a big midnight kind of snack guy, so can't help myself. But yeah, it is actually a pretty big thing. It helps with getting in those deeper stages of sleep.
Kind of sucks when you think about it. Now, the perfect dinner is a low GI carb, so I have some red lentil pasta, good quality protein, so I got some turkey, I got veggies, and then a good quality fat, which I have olive oil. Now, there was a study done saying that more olive oil means more fat loss, and I don't know about that. That just sounds like something that you would tell your significant other to do so they gain weight, get fat, so you feel safe in the relationship. One of the pluses of living the scientifically perfect life is I don't have to argue with anyone anymore. Everything I do is according to the data. So
There's this sense of freedom that I have for never having to make a difficult decision ever again, which is awesome. Calories for the meal, 743, almost 60 grams of protein, 32 grams of fat, and 60 grams of carbs. You know, whether your goal is to build muscle or lose fat, you need a nutrition plan that adapts to you, which is why I always use, you know how they take care of go, I'm gonna sell your, use code WILL. I'm gonna be sleeping in something called the Frequency Forest. It's an energy enhancement system. I have no idea what that is. I know it's good for healing. It's just good for you, it's good for sleep. So I have a room booked in this wellness center just for me. Maybe they double booked it. That'd be kind of cool. So we're gonna go inside right now, figure out what it's all about, and hopefully have the best sleep of my entire life. It's crazy I'm spending a night in a plaza across from a Popeyes. What the heck? Before I enter the Frequency Forest, it was important to bring myself down into the calmest and most restful state possible. So the first thing I did was 20 minutes with the Neurovisor.
The Neurovisor is a great way to just start to decompress from coming from the outside world into Float Valley. The light therapy is basically stimulating your pineal gland, and it's causing you to produce a little bit of endogenous DMT. DMT is produced to make you dream. So it starts to put you into kind of like a dreamlike state that's very relaxing, very comfortable, but also sometimes very visual. The lights will flash behind your eyelids, but then your brain will interpret it as colors and shapes and patterns and things like that. And so it becomes a very cool visual experience, but it's also a great way to drop in, and so that's the reason why I chose that first.
From there, I went on to do a 1-hour sensory deprivation float.
You're gonna be able to absorb all the magnesium, which will get you really relaxed. You'll have a full, like, nice theta session, which is an hour long, which is a great way to just decompress before you come into this room.
I am so relaxed right now. It's time to enter the Frequency Forest.
The Frequency Forest is basically this room that we've created here at Float Valley. The energy enhancement system are the TV screens that you're seeing on the walls. The TV screens are 4 towers that are in the corners of the rooms. And these towers are precisely like calibrated and aligned to each other so that they converge in the center point of the room. And so the screens are giving off
We're doing too much.
And these are frequencies that are usually found in natural places in the world. But what they found is when they take these frequencies and they precisely align the screens and they send them at each other, when they hit each other, they collide and create something called a scalar wave. And this scalar wave has the power to actually go into our
a hypothetical type of wave. All right.
Body into our cells and charge up the electrical voltage within the cell. And so healthy cells are somewhere around like a 70 to 90 millivolt voltage. When you start getting down to like a 20 to 30 millivolt cell, that's when you're seeing cancer cells. And so anywhere in between there, ailments are there, there's pain, there's disease, you get an injury, the cell starts to lower its energy. What the system does is this sends the scalar waves into your body. The scalar waves are then able to charge your cells back up to that 70 to 90 millivolt range, and the body can start to self-heal and self-regenerate itself.
I've either entered the chillest rave ever, or I'm about to be uploaded into the Matrix. I don't know which one. Also, I'm just low-key.
That's, I don't know. I can't speak on that. I don't know anything about that. Not in my wheelhouse. But yeah, too bright in there. I agree with that, I would think the room needs to be pitch black. Are you a red light truther? I personally haven't done red light therapy. I've looked into it a bit. I've read some of the studies. I think red light actually holds up pretty good. I think I would definitely I'd put it above a cold plunge, probably. I would put red light above a cold plunge. Unless you're just doing the cold plunge to get hype and get energized temporarily. But I think red light definitely has some truth behind it. I haven't done it personally, so I can't speak from personal experience, but from what I've read, that's what I think. My opinion. Very opinionated I am.
He's stressed about the electricity bill. It must be crazy. But I'm super excited. This is probably one of the coolest things I've ever done in my entire life. And I have a feeling tonight's sleep is going to ruin all other sleep experiences for my entire life.
In this room, we've got these copper pyramids. The copper actually conducts that scalar wave and amplifies the activity of the scalar waves in the room. So we've had a lot of people that are like energy healers, Reiki, along those lines. When they come into this room and they've been into other EE systems before, they're like, this is something completely different because of the copper pyramids.
If tonight doesn't go well, one thing's for sure. I'm gonna have the craziest sleep paralysis demons ever. He was telling me there's only 500 of these systems set up in the entire world. So this is quite the treat right now. I'm gonna be tracking my sleep tonight on my Oura Ring. I'm excited. I have no idea what's gonna happen. Is it gonna be the best sleep I've ever had? Will I have the best score I've ever had? I'm not entirely sure. I hope so. That'd be pretty sick. But then I'd have to buy this. It costs $160K. Yeah, it does. $160,000 for broken TV screens is what it looks like. You know,
Our number one clients here are chronic pain patients. My aunt specifically was one really good testimonial. She had torn her ACL, and she's very skeptical about like things like this. And so when she came in, she was like, "I'll give it a shot just because you're my nephew." But she came out. She was smiling. She was laughing. She's like, "My pain is completely gone. I've been trying to work on this for, I've taken so many medications. I've done so many things, and it's gone." And then it started to slowly come back. She came in 3 times that week. She never came back, and it was gone. So I'm like, yeah, for pain, for recovery, if you're sore, if you're insomnia, like literally across the board, I'm seeing benefits for everything.
I would consider this to be holistic wellness. And when it comes to holistic wellness, if you believe it's working and you want to believe it's working, it's going to work. So that's kind of where my head's at. I think that this is going to be a game changer of a sleep. See you all in the morning.
I could never do sleep masks, man. They always woke me up.
Good morning from the frequency forest. I feel like I had such a deep sleep. You know, when you wake up and you're like, wow, that was a freaking deep sleep. That's how I felt. I had very vivid dreams. So I thought the sleep score was going to be good, but it was very mid. So I feel like my score was not a reflection of how I feel and what the experience was. Because, wow. That was nice. I would do it again. Got another pro keto propaganda breakfast. It looks absolute gas. So we got some walnuts. I brought my own nut. Got some guacamole, tomato slices, chicken breast, and egg. I love eating 2 generations at once. The only thing that's missing is a cock, and we got the whole family. I still can't get over how good a meat and nut breakfast made me feel and how full it kept me. Keeping me full, it's not science. I consider that to be a scientific breakthrough. Like, seriously. But I am one that does fall for the placebo effect. Tell me it works, and I'm already 30% better. When a place has Cholula, you know it's the real deal.
Cholula?
It's also been
You mean Cholula?
90 minutes since waking, so you already know I'm gonna go crazy with it, with the coffee. Unlimited cups. This meal came with hash browns and toast, and I had to say no to both. So call me unhinged, but I'm using tomato slices as my toast. It's a low-carb diet, but requires very high commitment. I'm just a boy sitting in front of a tomato, asking it to be bread. I don't know why, but I definitely feel like I'm making a statement.
Guys. I know we're in the middle of the video. Wait, look bottom right. Wait. Lock in. Wait, shh. Bro's munching. Bro is munching. Oh my gosh, he's getting up in there. Guys, do I need to scare him away? So, no birds have come to it yet. This is the first day that anything has come to the feeder. Look at his face, bro. Wait, I think he sees me. Dude, he's munching. He's gonna eat all the birdseed. What is bro doing? The YouTube Shorts chat cannot see the bird feeder cam. Sorry, fellas. I wonder... Wait, let me check if the YouTube got taken down. Oh, no, it didn't, actually. Oh, hell yeah. Slay Burger. Shout out my YouTube viewers. Is he gone? No, he's still eating there. I need to maneuver the camera a little bit. Oh my... Look. Look at him. Dude, whenever he gets his head fully in, he sees me and he just turns. Bro, he's actually munching. Guys, do we just let him munch or do I need to shoo him off? Maybe he's hungry though. Can you raise the camera a bit? See, the problem is I don't want to I'm not going to do it on stream because I don't want to accidentally show any license plates or the next door house or anything like that. You know what I mean? Oh, look, he stood up eating. I'll figure out something better for the cam though. This is the first time something's been on it, so I haven't really been able to test it. But look at him. Oh my gosh, look at bro. All right, guys, we gotta get back to the video. Okay. Sifa. Oh, I love it. I absolutely am. Guys, this might be one of my greatest ideas of all time. I'm absolutely in love with the fact that I set that up. I love it so much. All right. Anyways. Dude, he's actually just munching like crazy. Holy hell. All right, lock in. Oh, what a little cutie.
Bringing my own walnuts to a restaurant. We have to work to get nice things. That's just how it is.
Why? Okay, what are we doing with the laptop? Air fryer into Connect 4? What is that stack?
I can't just escape and live in the frequency forest for the rest of my life. As much as that sounds awesome, I can't do that. So with that said, I have work to do, and I want to boost my productivity as much as humanly possible. So I have put together the ultimate scientific setup that will help me achieve the most amount of work in the shortest amount of time. Starting with blue light blocking glasses. Check. Next up, we have a stand.
You know what's actually interesting? When did this video come out? 10 months ago? I read recently that it's not necessarily the blue light that is the problem. Like when you're scrolling at night, blah, blah, people are like, oh yeah, you know, blue light blockers, or put your phone on black and white, or put it on nighttime mode. I've been seeing some stuff that it's not the blue light itself. It's just the stimulation of, like, it's the arousal, the mental arousal, not like literal sexual arousal, but like the mental arousal of using like social media and things like that late at night. You know, because people compared it beforehand. They were like, okay, let's use blue light on a phone versus like a book. And they're like, oh, you know, you see, you're looking at a book and you're less aroused and you're able to sleep better. It's like, well, it's probably just a lot less stimulation than, you know, social media and things like that. So it's very, very interesting. And honestly, it makes sense to me. I believe that because, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, blue light is what comes from the sun in the day, so it resets your circadian rhythm, messes it up. It's interesting, but I honestly, I think it makes more sense to me, just the arousal thing. I think that makes more sense. Guys, he's actually eating everything. I think I need to shoo him off, okay? I think I need to shoo him off. He's actually eating everything. Oh, holy headset dent. Hey, pal. What you doing? What you doing? Oh, you scared of me? Yeah, get out of here, little goober. Could you guys see him staring? Could you guys see him just staring? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Dude, he literally just... All right. Standing desk? I have a standing desk.
Which is linked to better attention and comfort. I didn't want to buy a standing desk, so I made my own with my air fryer and some checkers. It's ugly, but it'll do. Coincidentally, the top comment in my yearbook. But a standing desk does make a lot of sense because when you're sitting for a long period of time, you're hunched over and that kind of adds up. Your posture is going to suck. You're going to look like Quasimodo in like 5 years. So this just seems like an overall good choice to make. On this...
Name a car for an edit. Someone in the YouTube Shorts chat says, let's go with a 1994 Toyota Land Cruiser.
Side of my desk, I have some fresh rosemary because rosemary scent increases speed and accuracy of cognitive tasks. Sometimes you gotta put the spray can down. And then on this side, we have some gum because chewing gum while working increases alertness and reaction time. So I'm set up here. Let's get some work done. Let's do it.
So I popped a piece of gum and it was time to lock in. I will say I definitely prefer sitting down when doing work. I'm not sure if I'm getting anything out of doing it standing, Surprisingly, the rosemary scent was doing something, or maybe I was just being hustled by placebo. I'm not really sure, but time was flying by and I was getting a lot of work done. Taking a quick work break and I'm gonna make a snack, so I found that tyrosine-rich foods enhance focus. So I went online and I found a tyrosine-rich smoothie recipe, and all the stuff that you're seeing on the screen, it's all in here.
Interesting.
Everything. This is, for a fact, the most in-depth smoothie I have ever put together. I just went from bodybuilder to straight up mixologist. So this is a lot healthier and a lot more legal than what I would typically use to enhance my focus. So I'm excited. I love a good smoothie. So let's blend this up and see how it tastes.
What the heck? How do you work this? Jesus. Okay, let's try this bad boy out. Smells good. Oh! Straight goosebumps, man. With this smoothie, I am clapping the cheeks of procrastination.
Oh.
The banana saunters in when it goes down your throat. Everything is coming together. This is so solid. Best smoothie I think I've ever had. Really high cal though. Almond butter and pumpkin seeds. Insane. Running 75 minutes a week can drastically improve your lifespan, which is like 11 minutes a day. Tell me right now you don't have 11 minutes. People who do not have 11 minutes a day are already in the grave. There's literally no excuse. Now, 10 minutes of HIIT cardio apparently equals 50 minutes of regular cardio. Now, I'm all about efficiency, sometimes against my own will, but this one is hard to overlook. So today's an off day from the weights, but we're about to hit some HIIT and then do some recovery after. Let's get it.
We're gonna max this bad boy out. Oh shit.
Bro's gonna go flying off the thing.
I've only done 4 rounds so far, but look how quick the steps are adding up. Almost 2,500.
Oh my God.
Simple thing like 10,000 steps a day, you know?
I'm pretty sure treadmills were originally invented as like torture devices in prisons, and I can totally see why. Since today was an off day from lifting, after the cardio, I went to get some of the top-of-the-line science-backed recovery, starting with compression therapy, which has a long list of benefits. The green light just beaming in my face is a therapy used for skin issues like hyperpigmentation, dark spots, and sunspots, as well as to promote calming and anti-inflammatory effects.
It just feels like some dude is just gripping both of my ankles as hard as he can. And because it's constricting my lower body, all the blood is rushing to my head, this head. I'm starting to feel a little bit lightheaded right now. It feels really good.
From there, I moved on to the pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, which is like a battery charger for your cells. I got magnetic pulses sent into my back, my stomach, and even my knee. Then I did some more common things like red light therapy.
Imagine a science video without red light. Not possible. I never heard Einstein talk about red light. Maybe he knows nothing about science.
And then lastly, cryotherapy.
Gives more energy, boosts flexibility, increased blood flow. That's exactly why I do cocaine.
You're only in this chamber for 3 minutes, but there are so many benefits. One of them being you burn 500 to 800 calories per session, which I know is probably not, it's completely not true. But I'm gonna choose to believe it. And get a treat later.
I'm glad he
I always wondered what castration looked like. That's getting pretty crazy cold. So my nipples could take your eye out right now.
I'm on this vibration machine post-cryo to get the circulation back. No dangle at all, nothing.
I do notice after any cold therapy I do, my mood is so much better and my mind feels so much more clear.
Oh my God, look who's in my underwear. It's so cold. It's fake ice. Evening routine time. Starting with red light glasses. So the red light signals your brain and your body that it's time for rest. I think you should all know by now that colder is better. So the optimal temperature for sleep is between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm gonna change my thermostat to 65. For my next magic trick, I'm gonna turn all the nipples
it's valid.
to nice little diamonds. This next thing is actually pretty interesting, and that's to brush your teeth with your non-dominant hand.
We're doing too much.
And because you're
now.
not used to it,
Non-dominant
all you're gonna
hand.
do is think about how you're doing it. So it's kind of like a form of meditation. If using your non-dominant hand is a form of meditation, I have been meditating since I was 14. Surprised I haven't reached a higher plane yet. But I usually go like this. All right. I will be honest, all I'm thinking about is brushing my teeth and how weird it feels. If you're somebody like me who has a hard time meditating, you just have to do something that confuses you, so it basically forces you not to think about anything else.
After brushing my teeth, I went outside for a moonlight walk with my son Boba. You're not supposed to have your phone, but I'm filming this on my phone, so I don't know, but it felt really nice to be outside.
Having a little sleepy time cocktail of warm almond milk and collagen peptides. Maximizing my restfulness, one milk nut at a time. It doesn't taste like sweet dreams, but hopefully it will lead to them. And while I sip on this, I'm gonna journal 3 things that I'm grateful for today. It's supposed to uplift my mood, reduce my stress, and calm me down to get in the mood for sleep. I'm in bed now. Normally, I'd be scrolling on my phone, possibly doing some work, but that's a big no-no. You don't want too much screen time right before bed. You're supposed to do things like read. I just finished Squid Game Season 3, so I have nothing more to read. So because of that, Katie gave me Sudoku to give it a shot. 150 easy to very hard puzzles.
Shelf has been doing Sudoku recently.
Let's hope we find a very easy one here. Oh man, I love feeling like an idiot before bed. I'm currently naked with 3 socks on and this eye mask.
3?
I look like someone who the FBI would have a no-knock warrant for. But that doesn't matter, because you want to know what? I'm someone who's going to have an epic sleep. Isn't that right, Boba? Yeah. So that was a pretty easy evening routine, all backed by science. Give it a shot. I'm pretty sleepy right now, so I'm going to bed.
As my head hit the pillow after yet another day of flawless execution, I feel like I just aced life's final exam. But tomorrow is the real experiment. Breaking bad habits and putting the new ones to work. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. See you next time. Bye-bye.
I mean, hey, great video as always. Shout out Will Tennyson, only has 5.24 million subs. Ugh, great video, man.